What is up, everyone, and welcome to the newest installment of Friday Night Wars. Wait, why am I talking right now? I'm not used to this. I'm not used to opening up the show because the king of Friday Night Wars has been dethroned. I thought that I could never beat the almighty Joe Morley Sports, and hearing him tell me that every week, I was starting to believe it. But this week on Wednesday, March, whatever it was, something crazy must have happened because, like Dame Lillard at the buzzer, the Mic on the Mic squad showed up. It just goes to show, Joe, that at any moment we can take over this show. We've been picking our spots and picking our shots to this point. But I say, and I declare that those days are over. Every week from here on out, Team Mike will come out on top. You could take that to the bank, Joe. Go ahead and bet on horse number 13. Mama's Book Club can't save you anymore.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Step into the war zone.
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 Friday night war zone.
Friday night war zone.
Hey yo, it's Phil Flames. I'm with Mike on the Mic and Joe Morley. About to bring you more heat. Welcome to the war zone. You can have a floor seat. Watch them on your iPhone. Watch them on your Galaxy. It's a sports debate show. Straight up out of SoCal. Gather around the laptop. Friday nights it goes down. And we on the radio. Coming to your locale. Got into the third round. Better bring the smoke now. Step into the war zone.
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 Friday night war zone.
Friday night war zone.
Step into the 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 war zone.
Friday night war zone.
Friday night war zone.
Mike, we've seen this before. We've seen the TikTokers come out and then they disappear. They come out one time, then they go, bye. We go back to our mom's basement, Mike. Yeah, your TikTokers, they don't scare me. Yeah, you can rally them up one time, but where are they? They need to have your back consistently like my guys do. My guys. But anyways, let's be excited because this is Friday Night Wars and this is the War Zone Sports Network. Yeah, that's right. I'll give you the first win. I'll let you have the first win. Let your face get out there because the Warzone Sports Network is ready to go. But just know, everybody already knows, and you said it, the king of Friday night. Woo! Right here. I'll give you your win. We've been here before, Mike. You get one here, then I get like two or three. It's okay because I'm going to the top, and every once in a while you could take a step back and just enjoy the show like I do.
You see the smile on my face, Joe? That's because I know that the slump is over. And like I've been saying for the past couple weeks, every great hitter goes through hitting slumps. But then they just have that one swing that snaps it just like that. And this last week's episode was that one swing. The first episode on the Warzone Sports Network goes to Mike. Not Joe. Mike. And we'll be back. And it was a landslide victory, I may add.
It wasn't a landslide. Calm down. Calm down.
Like
You had to make a last-ditch effort to get the little TikTokers out, and it worked. Good for you. If I wanted to, I could have called, made some calls, got my guys in there, got the morale. But I was like, no, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch some Sports Force because that's the newest show on the Warzone Sports Network. And I was watching them instead of going out there and trying to get votes because you know what? I have a great enough lead. Look at the trophies above us. Look at the trophies. Put it on the board that I'm the best. They already know. I can give you one. I can give you two. And you're still not going to be with me, Mike. You got to win, what, 3 in a row just to even be tied with me.
It's
Mike,
10-8, right? It's 10-8. I need 2 victories to be tied, 3 victories to take the lead, and you're acting like that is impossible. That is 100% possible. You may have had me in the first half, but we're coming back in the second half.
Well, why don't you just shut up and do it? Put your money where your mouth is and let's go. Come on, beat me in this debate. And remember, guys, you guys choose the winner. You guys at home watching this video, choose the winner. All you got to do is go to the comments and put Team Joe or Team Mike. You can go after each debate, or you can just go overall and say Joe won or Mike won. It doesn't matter how you vote. Just vote.
Yeah, and as you guys did last week, definitely pick the correct winner. I'm not going to point any fingers or any thumbs, but you know who to vote for. I'm excited for the second episode on the Warzone Sports Network. I think the first official branded episode. Last week's episode was like the launch of the Warzone Sports Network. I'm excited to get into it. Make sure you guys tap that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you're alerted every time that we drop a new show for all 3 shows. Welcome to the Warzone, which we got big things coming for that. Sports Force and Friday Night Wars. Every Friday night, it's the hottest sports network on YouTube today. Without further ado, enough chit-chatting, enough banter, enough going back and forth. Let's go to war. Was adding J.J. Watt a good move?
Mike, overall, I don't think it's a great move that J.J. Watt is heading to Arizona. I do, like everybody else, want to see J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones. Yes, but I thought J.J. Watt wanted to win a Super Bowl. How does going to the Cardinals get you closer to that ring, right? I think Buffalo should have been his best option. Maybe even Cleveland. Yeah, I said Cleveland is a better option than the Cardinals. I just said that right now. The Cardinals play in the NFC West, which makes him probably be on the 3rd best team in their division, where Cleveland is up and coming and will push the Steelers down some, right? Arizona hurts more from this deal because they are paying everybody but the offensive line. And all they have to do is look over in their division, look at their division rival, the Seattle Seahawks, and realize that's probably not a great idea, right? It's probably not a great idea to pay all these guys but your offensive line. J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones will be fun to watch, but come on, don't expect a playoff win from the Arizona Cardinals just with J.J. Watt on the roster.
You see, Joe, and you fell into this trap by letting me go second. People are seeing this and only looking at it from the perspective of J.J. Watt. Well, this wasn't the right move for J.J. Watt. Arizona isn't a contender. He said it was not all about the money. And everyone and their mothers are complaining about this move. How about we look at it from the team's perspective, from the Arizona Cardinals' point of view? This is a team that has a young, up-and-coming, hungry defense. A team with a future superstar quarterback. I still believe in Kyler Murray. You just got to go through the growing pains that every NFL quarterback goes through, paired with one of, if not the best wide receiver in football. This team has its young core. It has its franchise guys. It just needs those few pieces to add to the team to take them to the next level over time, not immediate, not the snap of a finger. And J.J. Watt is one of those pieces. Wow, $31 million for a veteran pass rusher is a lot when you look at it straight at that $31 million sign, but he's only an $11.5 million cap hit in the first year of the deal. The Arizona Cardinals can make more moves this offseason. This is not it. This move was 100% worth it for the Cardinals. You bring in not just J.J. Watt's play, which 2 years ago he had 16 sacks when he had another. I'm not even going to say Jadeveon Clowney was the same level of pass rusher as him, just someone that could take the double teams away from him. He had a 16-sack season. You bring in his leadership. You bring in his experience to that young and hungry defense. This is 100% a good move for the Arizona Cardinals. And they can keep building this roster over the next couple years now with J.J. Watt and start to become contenders in the ridiculous NFC West.
No, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as long-term overall. I said offensive line. They passed on offensive line last year in the draft when everybody thought they were going to take an offensive lineman, and they took Isaiah Simmons, right? So everybody thought they were going to, and then now there we go. Okay, we're going to build the offense. There's a lot, like you said, they have time still. It's this offseason is going to be nuts, right? There's going to be a lot of great players on the market. There's going to be a lot of great offensive linemen on the market. So they still have their shot to do it. I'm just saying I would like to see the money go elsewhere. I thought the defensive line was good. I'm going to go out there and say it on record right now. I love Brenston Buckner, their defensive line coach. I think, I don't usually go against the Raider organization often, But I think when they got rid of Buckner as the defensive line coach, they screwed up. And I wish they could have him back. He did wonders the first year with Clean Farrell and Max Crosby and all of them, and then they shipped him off. So Buckner is a great defensive line coach, and J.J. Watt's going to love going over there and play for him. I'm just not buying into Cliff Kingsbury and the rest of that team winning. So, yeah, I love it could be a great move. It could be a good signing, but it doesn't guarantee that they're going to win anything.
Look, the best way to slow down quarterback the caliber of Russell Wilson, to slow down a quarterback the caliber of Matthew Stafford, and what is that caliber? We're really going to find out this year how good or not good Matthew Stafford actually is. The best way to neutralize those style of quarterbacks and those top 12, top 10 quarterbacks like that is to put them on their back before they can throw the ball. And that is what the Cardinals are going to be doing this season. This is a huge improvement to the defense, a defense that struggled over the last couple of years, but has the pieces. Like when you look at Byron Murphy Jr. and you see him, you say, okay, he is possibly going to be a future star cornerback in the NFL. You look at Budda Baker, and he's already a star safety in the NFL. You look at Isaiah Simmons and his intangibles. Like, what was holding this defense back? They didn't have the ability to knock that quarterback on the ground without sending 3 players in on a blitz, and now they will have that ability. I think it's a great move for the Arizona Cardinals. But I see where everyone's coming from at the same time with the J.J. Watt thing. But we kind of got to sit back and say, okay, this move does make sense for the Cardinals to make. A lot of people are upset that it doesn't make sense for J.J. Watt to make this decision to go to the Arizona Cardinals. It's a good move. It's a good move. Overall, it is a good move.
See, I just sit and laugh because Russell Wilson just said, I'm tired of getting hit. I'm tired of getting hit. And then Arizona says, oh, yeah, you tired? How about we add J.J. Watt to the mix, huh? How about you get another guy that's coming after you? And you know that Russell Wilson picked up that phone and was like, really? Really? Hey, Sierra, I'm thinking about retiring. That like he doesn't want to get hit. And your division rival just made a big statement and said, hey, we're going to hit you some more.
Yeah, Russell Wilson's got to be like, originally he's probably, okay, we need a new left tackle. I need you guys to go out and get me an elite left tackle. Now he's saying, I need you guys to go out and get me an elite right tackle and left tackle. I need an elite guard and I need an elite left guard. The Seahawks are screwed. They cannot get an entire offensive line in one offseason. It's impossible. They got to switch everyone out, right?
They got to do a lot of work. I mean, you got to look and find your best guys, and I can't even tell you who their best guys are on that offensive line because really, I mean, if they had one good game, then the next game they were crap. So that whole offensive line, yeah, you can replace it, but yeah, good luck. Good luck, Seattle, because Bosa's back next year.
Yeah,
Aaron Donald ain't going nowhere, and now Arizona just brought you two damn good pass rushers. So. Yeah.
And Bosa coming back to the 49ers line changes everything because they let DeForest Buckner go knowing they have Armstead and they have Bosa and they have these guys. Bosa going down hurt them severely because now you can double team Armstead and the other guys on the D line and D Ford. You cannot do that anymore. The Seahawks may be in trouble this coming season. And I'm a big Russell Wilson fan. I've been a Seahawks supporter over the last couple of years. But I can look at this and say, okay, well, this mountain is getting much higher to climb to keep Russell Wilson happy on this team.
Well, and everybody who turned in to watch Welcome to the War Zone, you guys saw Justin from This Just In. Justin Marvell said he thinks that one of the Russell Wilson or Pete Carroll will be out of Seattle next season. And when he was saying that, I was like, I think both because they're going to pull the same stuff that, Philly did. Mm-hmm. If one guy's going to mess it up, you might as well send both out. But if you guys haven't watched that one's a good episode. But yeah, I don't know. Seattle has a lot of work to do. Arizona, bringing J.J. Watt, good on paper. We'll see if it means anything. But exactly, guys, you guys are watching the Warzone Sports Network. If you guys love what you guys are watching, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And remember, on this show, Friday Night Wars, you get to vote who wins, Mike or myself, by just commenting in the comments. Team Joe, Team Mike. Joe wins, Mike wins. It doesn't matter what you comment. Put one of our names, and we know that you're voting for us. And let us know what you guys think about this J.J. Watt signing. Was it good? Was it not? Let us know what you think about J.J. Watt to Arizona.
Vote for Mike. Let's go to the next round. Is LeBron James on his way to another NBA MVP award? Is LeBron James on his way to another MVP? 26, 8, and 8 speaks for itself at age 36. And those numbers are set to go up as LeBron James is forced to take on more of the load with the Anthony Davis injury. Very unfortunate, by the way, as a Lakers fan, for Anthony Davis to go down. The guy is 36 and almost putting up a triple-double on average. Are you kidding me? I don't know how the MJ GOAT leavers are still holding this man back. LeBron James has been robbed of many awards in years past. Please, voting committee and whoever's going to make this decision, do not let it happen again. While Embiid has been balling as well, the 5-assist lead that Bron has on Joel outweighs Joel Embiid's 3-rebound lead that he has on LeBron James, in my personal opinion, as far as it goes in my mind. I never understood that concept. An assist is guaranteed points. When you have an assist on your record, on your stat line, you helped your team score points for sure, no doubt about it. While a rebound, yes, it can lead to points, but you can get a defensive rebound. It doesn't guarantee that your team went down the other end and put up 2 points or 3 points on the board. In my opinion, assists are much more valuable than a rebound in the game of basketball. Also, just to point it out, LeBron James is responsible for 65 more points than Embiid this season and has a plus 12 point higher plus minus than Embiid this season. I would say this is getting close to a 2-man race because I don't think the voters are going to give Giannis a third straight MVP, but really it's between LeBron James versus Joel Embiid, and that's the debate so far. I think LeBron James has the edge. LBJ is the most valuable player, arguably in the history of basketball, but for sure last year and this year as well. Don't rob the man of another MVP voters.
Mike, I'm so glad you went first because you kind of made my point. I don't think LeBron James is going to get another MVP. Not saying that he doesn't deserve it, not saying he doesn't put up the numbers. There's a problem in sports, not just in the NBA, but every league when it comes to giving out awards. People think that the same person winning it year after year is wrong. Why? I don't know. When players like LeBron James get punished for being the best player, like all time, how can you be considered the greatest player in league history or one of the greatest players in league history, but come 2 or 3rd, second or third in MVP voting? It's because people want to see fresh faces. Well, I'm sorry. If LeBron James is dominating, he deserves it, right? I don't care how many times he wins the award. It's just like in the NFL. Until Aaron Donald is injured or retires, he's NFL Defensive Player of the Year. I just think they will find somebody else, try to spotlight that player because LeBron James gets his glory anywhere and anywhere else and, not just in awards. So I think they're going to go and they're going to look at the Joel Embiid. And if my Phoenix Suns continue to win and continue to do it, they might even give it to Booker. They didn't give him an all-star spot, but they might even give it to him if they could somehow finish it off, right? I just think it's not that they hate LeBron or he's not putting up the numbers. They just always assume that people are tired of it and, they'll talk about him, but they won't give him the award.
Which is absolutely sickening and sad. LeBron made a good point a couple years ago. I think they gave the Defensive Player of the Year award to Marc Gasol, but LeBron James was first team all defense and Marc Gasol was second team all defense. Same awards. They're voting him at the same time. And they said LeBron James deserves to be on the first team and Marc deserves to be on the second string team of best defensive players in the game that season, but gave Marc Gasol the Defensive Player of the Year award and LeBron James runner up. What?
It's just like this show. I deserve to win every week, and we give it to me, right? I look at the numbers. I win every week. Every once in a while, somebody has a good show, and they give it to him. I'm like LeBron James of Friday night. I win, and of course, I rack it up. But they just hate. I don't get it. Every sport's like that. Mike Trout's the best player in baseball, best American League player, but they go and give it to Jose Abreu. Like, give it to the best players. I'm sorry. And my argument is, no, he's not going to get it, right? He's not going to get it. My argument's not that LeBron James doesn't deserve it because he damn well does deserve it, especially at the age at 36 that he's playing. He deserves it. But I just know how voting is. I mean, the voting for all these awards, for the Hall of Fame, everything is ridiculous in sports, and it's not going to change. So we just got to go along with it. But okay, there's one thing. It's called MVP, most valuable player. LeBron James is that. He's that. You don't have to do it just to promote the next star or some up and coming star. Promote him a different way. You don't have to take away a trophy from somebody else to do that.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, everyone's going to use MVPs, NBA titles, NBA final MVPs to define LeBron's legacy. And those ones that they leave out just aren't going to show up. They just aren't going to exist. In my opinion, LeBron James won the MVP last year. He carried the Lakers through the entire season, got the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, something that everyone has said his entire career. He's afraid. He's staying in the East, staying in Miami, staying in Cleveland, avoiding the Western Conference. Comes to the Western Conference and in one season takes him to the number 1 seed and wins the NBA Finals. Didn't win MVP that year because Giannis had a few more rebounds than him. That just is blasphemy, as Stephen A. Smith would say, and you're using ridiculous as the word to kind of define or go ahead and label how they determine these awards in professional sports. I'm using inconsistent, and that's the part that pisses me off the most, is that one year we'll use this logic, the next year we'll use this logic. We need to put a definition on the most valuable player of all sports, but definitely in the NBA, because it's so wishy-washy, so up and down. Giannis has won the last 2 MVP awards, and now I think he's out of the race just because of that fact. The man has the same numbers as Joel Embiid, but he's out of the race just because he won the last 2. That makes no sense. This should be a 3-man race, and Giannis may be in second, but behind LeBron, but because he's won the last 2, we all know that if it's even remotely close, Giannis would have to be averaging 35 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assists to win the MVP this year, which will be record-breaking across the board. Man, it's inconsistent. That's the part that upsets me the most.
Mike, if the facts don't fit the theory, they change the theory, right? That's how it is. But I'll tell you one thing, guys. The facts are Friday Night Wars is here, and Friday Night Wars is one of the best shows on YouTube right now on the Warzone Sports Network, which is the best out there right now. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe button. Make sure you guys are voting for who you think won this round, Mike or myself, because that's the facts right here. We're not changing the theory right here. We're just giving you straight facts. What do you think, Mike?
That was pretty good. That was a pretty smooth plug right there. Pretty smooth.
Like that one? I thought of that all by myself.
I liked it. On that note, let's move on to the next round. Should Alex Smith have a roster spot in the NFL?
Yes. 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 He is 36 years old. He did come back from a horrific injury. I don't know how he can do or what he can do as a starter anymore, but I know what he can do. He can be a Josh McCown. He can be a Ryan Fitzpatrick. Alex Smith is a smart man, and I would love to have him on my team as a mentor, right? Maybe the Chicago Bears, him and Nagy have a great relationship. How about going back to the Kansas City Chiefs to back up Patrick Mahomes, right? Alex Smith won't get paid a lot, but I think he realizes that he isn't that star anymore, and he will take that back seat. But I don't think he's ready to walk away from the game, because if he was ready to walk away from the game, he would have done that with the injury, right? He would have been gone already. Alex Smith can serve the NFL a great service by sitting in a quarterback room with some young quarterback and teach him how to play the game correctly, right? That's what Alex Smith comes. That's where he's going to be great. I'll throw one more team at you, Mike. One more team that I think he will be great and a great mentor for this young quarterback. The Cleveland Browns. Can Alex teach Baker Mayfield the game?
Look, Alex Smith's story is the stuff of legends. Simply put, it is one of the most inspiring comebacks, maybe the most inspiring comeback ever in the history of sports. He did it. He accomplished it. And it's one of the greatest accomplishments and comebacks that I've ever seen. Now that disclaimer is out of the way, that I support Alex Smith getting back on the field. I hate to be the bad guy of Friday Night Wars. I'm always playing this role of bursting the bubble. Smith is age 36, going on 37, heading into this season. And he, unfortunately, in my opinion, has hit the end of the road. And here's why. The 2020 Comeback Player of the Year started 6 games last year. with a 66% completion percentage, 1,582 yards, most of it coming in one game where he had some crazy 400-yard game, 6 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Even with his team holding up around him and holding him up, those aren't starting caliber numbers in the NFL, especially nowadays. And I want to point out, he only played 6 games before he was hurt again, forcing Heineke, possibly his replacement, to take over in the playoffs. At 37 years old, what team is bringing him in? Maybe as a backup, like you're saying, but you'd want your backup in most situations to be kind of a younger and especially cheaper option. Is Alex Smith willing to make less than $1 million to be a backup for a team somewhere? I think Alex needs to accept this and maybe move on to being a coach or being a mentor, like you're saying, but doesn't necessarily need to have the pads on as a mentor or even heading into the booth as a commentator. Look, man, I am always terrified when players push it just one season too far and risk something awful happening, ending their careers in a very miserable way. I don't want to see it happen to anyone. I don't want to see it happen to Drew Brees. I don't want to see it happen to Big Ben. And I sure do not want to see it happen to Alex Smith.
I understand where you're coming from. I understand. Like, hey, Alex Smith, you did all that to come back. You proved that you could do it again. You proved that that injury didn't hold you back. You proved that you could play in the NFL. And now you have nothing to prove. Now walk away. That's what you're kind of saying. Like, hey, it was great story. And I understand. But I don't know. I'm thinking of it more as a backup. So I don't know if the question was there for a starter, but I'm thinking more of a backup. I think he can do that. I think he's better than half, if not more than half of the backups that are already in the league. But he can't go out there and be that guy anymore. No, like you said, he played 6 more games and then got hurt. He played that game, his first game back against the Rams when he was in there. I was like, oh no. I think he got sacked like 6 or 7 times, right, by the Rams. And I was like, eee! I cringed every time. And you know how you said he had that 400-yard game? Well, in that game, he only had, 36 yards? Something like that. So I'm not saying he's the greatest quarterback. I'm just saying he has it here. He's smart. And if you need him to come in for a game and a half or something like that, maybe that guy was good. I'll take him on the Raiders if he wants to come in and teach Derek Carr a few things, teach him how to be patient. Part of it was, I think Alex Smith's problem last year was he came back from that injury. Yeah. And you tell me, Mike, it's hard to stand there and think and not think about that injury, right? Like, oh, here it comes. So he had to get over that fear as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible to not think about it. Another thing is, not only did he overcome that, he put the doubts away. He just accomplished this great feat, right? And I'm not trying to take that away from him. He also cashed in for like $20 million last year by playing in those couple games. Like, it seems like you hit the end of the road. Maybe this is the time to call it quits. And while he very well could go and be a backup, and most likely will go and be a backup somewhere, what are you doing for yourself there, Alex? I think you could be more productive, maybe going and coaching, maybe going into the booth, maybe trying to just spend more time with your family, things like that. You proved all the doubters wrong. You got back on that football field. You played some good football. They went 5-1. His numbers weren't quite that great, but they went 5-1. He had a great defense, obviously. I just think that there's not much more Alex Smith is going to do in the NFL, so why even risk it?
Mike, let me ask you this. Just off of last year's play alone, Alex Smith or Nick Foles, who are you taking?
Probably barely Alex Smith still, but that's not the point. I'm not saying that he can't physically do it. I'm saying, does a team want to accept that risk, bringing him in, even as a backup, him possibly getting on the field and something terrible happening? And does he want to accept that risk of getting on the field and possibly something terrible happening? He already risked it all to come back last year. And while, yes, it was 100% for his own morality and everything within him that pushed him to get back onto that football field. But like I said, that $20 million probably also inspired a lot of days where it seemed like he was going to quit. So I think now that that's not a factor anymore, that even just makes it less worth it to go out there and risk it. What if it, God forbid, knock on wood, what if it happens in non-contact? Like, why even risk it?
Yeah. But some players, like you said, or like I said, love the game so much that they don't want to walk away, and it takes another injury to do that. And like you said, we're not hoping that, and we want to see people walk away on their own terms. But I don't think he's ready to walk away. I don't think so, because that was such a horrific injury that you would have walked away from. Most people would have walked away from that injury, multiple surgeries, and he still came back. So I don't think he's ready to hang him up. I think he's going to come back as a backup. But hey, more power to him.
Yeah. Also, Drew Brees retired, dude. Holy crap! Is he ever going to retire? What's he doing?
Who do we talk about this with? Joe Skirto on Welcome to the War Zone, where we're like, Breeze, hang it up. It's all right.
What's he doing?
Okay.
He hasn't said it yet. He's coming back, huh? I mean, what are you waiting for?
I'm not going nowhere.
They're in such a terrible cap space, Drew. They cannot bring you back. And if they do, you're not going to get a damn free agent. You're probably going to lose some stars. Marshawn Lattimore's going to be forced out of there because he's up for a contract. Dude, retire. You're not going to win the Super Bowl with the Saints. The last 3 years was your chance.
And the Saints just released both tight ends, Hill and Cook. So come on, Breeze.
They're in the
help them out. Help some people out. Retire. Stay home. You guys are watching Friday Night Wars on the War Zone Sports Network. This is the Friday night show to end the week of our 3 weekly shows, guys. 3 weekly shows. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, all for you guys. Hope you guys like it. Hope you guys are subscribed. Hopefully you send this link and get everybody else that you know loving the War Zone Sports Network, because there's nothing but up from here, because we keep going and some great guests are coming on in the next couple of weeks, guys.
Yeah, so definitely tap that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so that way you're alerted every time a new show drops. Man, I'm so excited for the Warzone Sports Network, and we're officially fully going. This is the end of the first week on the network, and man, I am pumped for what's to come in the future.
Yep, and I just, we had Sports Force with Brian Bolsterd and Joe Skirto. Great show. You guys already know Mike and I do Welcome to the War Zone, where we bring on guests and we introduce them to you guys. Oh, man, I'm excited about what we have coming up, Mike. I'm very excited. But the War Zone Sports Network, guys, I'm excited about. And you guys can check us out on every platform, Instagram and TikTok. What? I talk all that crap about TikTok, and we have a TikTok, a War Zone Sports TikTok. Check it out. The 4 of us are grinding. We're going to work hard for you guys and hopefully add more and more to make better content for you. But we can't do anything without you guys. So we appreciate everything that you guys are doing and the love and support. And if you could do one thing for us, it's to hit the like and subscribe button and share this as many times as you can.
And I'm going to repay you guys with some advice for supporting us. My repayment is some advice. And that advice is that you never know when you're talking sports or you're in a sports debate when you're going to have to go to war.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Step into the war